In this video, we're going to be looking at converting units from one measurement to another. Our first learning objective is to convert from one measurement to another. The second learning objective is to convert from one squared measurement to another. Finally, our third learning objective is to complete some real GCSE questions. Our first step is to learn the vocabulary associated with today's lesson. Step 2 is to convert between basic measurements. Step 3 is to convert units that have been squared. Finally, step 4 is to solve real GCSE questions. We are going to be using the metric system when converting units. The metric system is based on the decimal numbering system, where conversion factors are always powers of 10. Unit squared. A unit squared is a square whose sides have a length of 1 unit. When multiplied to give the area of a square, we say that it has units squared. Conversion. Conversion is a change in the form of a measurement. Different units without a change to the size or the amount. Can you think of any units of length? Well, here's some of the common ones. Millimeters, centimeters, meters, and kilometers. Here are some common units of mass and capacity. In this lesson, we need to be able to convert from one unit to another. Let's take a look at the conversions for length. There are 10 millimeters in 1 centimeter, 100 centimeters in 1 meter, and 1,000 meters in a kilometer. You will need to memorize these conversions, as this information will not be given to you in your exams. Next, let's take a look at the conversion for mass. There are 1,000 milligrams in 1 gram, 1,000 grams in a kilogram, and there's 1,000 kilograms in a metric ton. Finally, let's take a look at the conversion for capacity. 10 centiliters in 1 milliliter, 1,000 milliliters in 1 liter. There are lots of different units used in mathematics and science, but these are the most common ones, so learning these will do for now. Let's take a look at some examples. Question A. Convert 7 kilometers into meters. We know that there are 100 meters in 1 kilometer, so that means that for every kilometer there are 1,000 meters. We know that there are 1,000 meters in 1 kilometer, so that means that for every kilometer there are 1,000 meters. So all we need to do is multiply 7 by 1,000 to get our answer, 7,000 meters. Question B. 5,500 grams to kilograms. Here we are converting a small measurement, grams, into a larger measurement, kilograms. So this means that we will be using division in our calculation. We know that there are 1,000 grams in a kilogram, so our calculation will be 5,500 divided by 1,000, which gives us the answer 5.5 kilograms. Question C. 6 kilometers into centimeters. We know that there are 100 centimeters in a meter and 1,000 meters in a kilometer. So this time our calculation will be 6 multiplied by 100, because there's 100 centimeters in a meter, and then multiply by 1,000 because there are 1,000 meters in a kilometer. This gives us the answer 600,000 centimeters. Finally, question D. Convert 2 grams into tons. Again, here we are converting a small measurement, grams, into a larger measurement, tons. So this means that we're going to be using division in our calculation. We know that there are 1,000 grams in 1 kilogram and 1,000 kilograms in 1 ton. So, to complete our calculation, we need to divide 2 by 1,000 times 1,000, which equals 0.000002 tons. In these examples, you should have realized that sometimes we multiply and sometimes we divide. The easy way to remember what you need to do is, if we're converting a measurement from a smaller measurement, you multiply, and if you're converting a measurement to a larger measurement, you divide. Now we're going to look at converting squared units. You will be most familiar with using units squared when working with area. When we work out the area, our units are squared. In this example, you can see that we have a rectangle, and when we calculate the area, you can see that it is 12 centimeters squared. But what if we don't want our measurement in centimeters? Maybe we need it in millimeters. How can we convert it? Let's take a look at our diagram again. We are going to convert this area into millimeters. We know that the area is 12 centimeters squared. And we also know that there are 10 millimeters in 1 centimeter. So 12 multiplied by 10 equals 120 millimeters squared. But wait, this is wrong. This is a common mistake that pupils make when they convert square units. Let's look at the correct way of solving this question. If we were to split this rectangle into squares, each square is 1 centimeter by 1 centimeter. We know that there are 10 millimeters in 1 centimeter, so each square must be 10 millimeters by 10 millimeters. This means that the top of our rectangle is 30 millimeters and the side is 40 millimeters. Now, 30 multiplied by 40 gives us the answer 1,200 millimeters squared. To convert between squared units, we need to either multiply to go from a larger measurement to a smaller measurement, or divide to go from a smaller measurement to a larger measurement. There are 10 millimeters in a centimeter, so 10 squared is 100. This is the multiple you use to go from centimeters to millimeters squared. Likewise, there are 100 centimeters in a meter, so 100 squared is 10,000. This is why we would divide by 10,000. Next, I'm going to show you another way of converting squared units. In this example, I'm going to show you how to convert squared units using the idea that all shapes are a square. Take a look at these two shapes. Each block is 1 centimeter by 1 centimeter. Do they have the same area? Well, yes. You can see that the area of the shapes are 9 centimeters squared. You can also see that they are different shapes, but they still have the same area. This means that if I didn't know what the shape looks like, but I do know its area, it doesn't matter. I can find an approximation of the length of the side by assuming that it is a square. Remember, area of a square is the length of the side squared. So, if I take the square root of the area, I should now have the length of the side of the square with the same area. In this example, my length is 3 centimeters. Now I can convert it to millimeters. That gives me 30 millimeters. So the area of the shape must be 30 multiplied by 30, which gives me 900 millimeters squared. This idea will work for any shape, whether it's really a square or not. In this example, we're going to convert the area of an object into centimeters squared. Here we are told that the area of the shape is 20.25 meters squared. Here we just need to take the square root to find the length of the side. This gives us the answer 4.5 centimeters. We know that there are 100 centimeters in 1 meter, so now we just multiply 4.5 by 100 and we get the answer 450 centimeters. Finally, all we have to do is square the side to get our answer. This gives us the answer 202,500 centimeters squared. Here is a GCSE question. We are asked to change 60,000 meters into kilometers. We know that there's 1,000 meters in 1 kilometer. So all we have to do here is divide 60,000 by 1,000 to get our answer 60 kilometers. In this GCSE question, it says that there's a map drawn to the scale of 1 to 1,000,000. A forest on the map has an area of 4.6 centimeters squared. Calculate the actual area of the forest in square kilometers. What do we know? There are 100 centimeters in 1 meter and 1,000 meters in 1 kilometer. This means that to change centimeters into kilometers, we need to multiply 100 by 1,000. That gives us the answer 100,000. But look, the scale says 1 to every million, and our calculation says that it's only 100,000 centimeters in a kilometer. So what does this mean? What this means is that every centimeter on the map is actually 10 kilometers in real life. We don't know the actual shape of the area, but that doesn't matter. We can just pretend that it's a square. To find the length of our square, simply take the square root of 4.6. Here is my answer correct to 4 decimal places. Be very careful here. When you do this calculation on your calculator, do not round your answer, or you will get the final answer wrong. I have rounded here just to save space. Now, multiply our answer by 10 because remember it's 1 centimetre to every 10 kilometres. Finally, we can square our answer to find the real distance, which is 460 kilometres squared. Thanks for watching, and remember that there are lots more videos just like this one on Mr. Gregory Online.